The world is not falling apart, you are watching its chaos reflect your own. Why does every storm outside feel like it owns you? Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events." Yet most people surrender that power without a fight. You chase control, resist uncertainty, and call it living. But it's just fear in disguise. What if stillness isn't weakness, but rebellion? In a world addicted to noise, your calm becomes something dangerous, unshakable, untouchable, free. Your power begins when you stop trying to control what was never yours to control. The modern world trains you to react to everything: news cycles, opinions, expectations, endless notifications. But Stoicism draws a hard line between what is yours and what is not. Epictetus said, "Some things are up to us and some things are not." And in that simple distinction lies a profound form of freedom. Your thoughts, your choices, your actions, these belong to you. The behavior of others, the state of the economy, the chaos of the world, these do not. Yet most of your suffering comes from confusing the two. Jung might say this confusion feeds the shadow, because every time reality refuses to obey you, something darker grows: resentment, anxiety, helplessness. But when you reclaim your inner domain, something shifts. Imagine standing in the middle of a storm, not trying to stop the wind, but anchoring yourself so deeply that it cannot move you. This is Stoic stillness. A practical exercise. For the next 24 hours, every time you feel frustration rising, pause and ask, "Is this within my control?" If the answer is no, consciously release it. If yes, act decisively. Over time, this becomes a reflex. You stop wasting energy on the uncontrollable and begin building an inner core that no external chaos can fracture. Stillness is not the absence of chaos, but the mastery of your response to it. Many people wait for life to calm down before they feel at peace, but that moment never arrives. The Stoics understood this deeply. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." Notice, he did not promise a quiet world, only a steady mind. Jung would describe this as the process of individuation, where you stop being tossed around by unconscious reactions and begin responding from a centered self. Think of your mind as a lake. When every external event disturbs it, the surface is constantly rippling, distorting everything you see. But when you cultivate stillness, even in motion, the surface clears. You see reality as it is, not as your fear paints it. Try this. When something triggers you a harsh comment, a sudden problem, do not respond immediately. Instead, take one breath and observe the reaction rising within you. Label it: anger, fear, defensiveness. This simple act creates distance between you and the emotion. In that space, you choose your response. Over time, you stop being a puppet of circumstance and become something far more dangerous to chaos: a person who cannot be easily provoked. What you resist externally often reflects something unintegrated within your shadow. Jung famously said, "Until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life and you will call it fate." The people and situations that disturb you most are rarely random. They are mirrors. The arrogance you cannot stand, the weakness that irritates you, the chaos that overwhelms you, these often point to aspects of yourself you have rejected or denied. Stoicism complements this by demanding radical self-honesty. Instead of blaming the world, you turn inward and ask, "What is this revealing about me?" This is not about self-blame, it is about self-mastery. Imagine carrying a hidden wound. Every time someone brushes against it, you feel pain and assume they caused it. But the Stoic and Jungian path says, examine the wound, heal it. Then the world loses its power to disturb you. A practical journaling prompt. Think of a recent situation that triggered you strongly. Write down exactly what bothered you. Then ask, where does this trait exist in me, even in a small or hidden way? This is shadow work. As you integrate these parts, you become less reactive, less fragile. The world may remain chaotic, but it no longer hooks into you the same way. Discipline creates the inner structure that chaos cannot penetrate. Without structure, your mind becomes like a house. With no foundation, every external force shakes it. The Stoics were relentless about daily practices because they understood that resilience is built, not wished, into existence. Seneca wrote, "We suffer more often in imagination than in reality, yet without discipline, imagination runs wild." Jung might frame discipline as a way of strengthening the ego so it can withstand the forces of the unconscious without collapsing. This is not about rigid control, it is about reliability. When your habits are strong, you do not need to negotiate with yourself every time life gets hard. You already know what you will do. Consider a simple daily ritual. Waking up at the same time, taking a few minutes to reflect, setting intentions for how you will respond to difficulty. These small acts create psychological stability. They tell your mind, I am in charge here. Over time, this builds quiet confidence, not loud, not performative, but deeply rooted. When chaos hits, you do not scramble. You fall back on your structure, and that structure holds. Amor fati transforms chaos from an enemy into the very material of your strength. The phrase means love of fate, but it goes beyond acceptance. It is the radical decision to embrace everything that happens as necessary for your growth. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "A blazing fire makes flame and brightness out of everything that is thrown into it." This is the image you should carry: a fire that does not resist what is thrown into it, but consumes it and becomes stronger. Jung would say that growth requires tension, conflict, even suffering. Without it, there is no individuation, no expansion of the self. Yet most people spend their lives wishing things were different, fighting reality, exhausting themselves. Imagine instead that every obstacle is fuel. Lost a job? Fuel. Rejected? Fuel. Uncertainty? Fuel. The shift is subtle, but powerful. Ask yourself in difficult moments, how can this serve me? What is this shaping in me? This does not mean you enjoy pain, it means you refuse to waste it. Over time, this mindset makes you unshakable, because nothing is meaningless anymore. Everything becomes part of your becoming. And in a world addicted to chaos, that kind of mindset is not just rare, it is unstoppable.